my world. I was the oldest son, so there were special obligations. There's always special obligations placed on the oldest son and on the elders as well, but especially the oldest son. I did real well in school, mainly because of my father. And to this day, I still don't know how my father, with a third grade education, where he picked up his love of education, his curiosity, his tremendous vocabulary in Spanish, all of which he instilled in all of us. So I would go to school and kill myself to do well in school to please my father, who could not even read my report card by year. No, I don't mean to put down my mother. My mother provided other things to all of us. But my love of education came from my father. My love of language came from my father. My curiosity came from my father. So I did really well in school, got a scholarship. But in my junior year, my father was laid off from his job. And he was in his late 50s. So who wanted to hire him with the skills that he had? And the fact he only knew about 10 words of English, nobody wanted to hire him. But he was able to get a job as a janitor at a local hospital, working in the TB ward because nobody wanted to work there. So he got a job there in the TB ward, tuberculosis. And we were able to survive until in my senior year, he broke his leg. And because of his age, he had a real hard time healing. And so I graduated from high school and I started college on a scholarship. But very quickly I dropped out because my family needed me. And in my culture, you do what has to be done and you don't moan and groan and complain about it. So I dropped out of high school, gave up my scholarship, proceeded to get a job as a draftsman because I learned drafting in high school, and I would work 40 hours a week, and I would go to school at night. It took me 7 years to get my bachelor's degree. So what? So got my bachelor's degree, started teaching high school, and continued going to school at night, working on a master's degree. That took 5 years. So what? And then I already told you, after I had taught college for several years, I got the urge to go to law school. I went to law school. You will never encounter a more driven person than this one in front of you. I decide on a goal, and I go for it. You put the obstacles in front of me, I'll go over some, I'll go around some, and I'll go under some. And I got taught all that perseverance again by my father. My father would say things like, when there's food, we eat. When there's no food, we don't eat, and we don't complain. My father would die rather than any of us ever going on welfare. So frequently, we kids would go to high school without any lunch or lunch money because we had none. Now and then, I don't know where I would get it, but I would get a couple of slices of bread, and I would pretend that there was something in between the slices of bread, and I would go with my lunch to school, and lunch hour I would go have my lunch, munch on that sandwich as if there was some bologna in there, something. There was nothing. Okay, so what? And now and then, when there were any or even any slices of bread, then for the lunch hour, I would leave campus. You could in those days. I would leave campus, go walk around the block a few times, close to an hour, and then come back and send it for lunch. Okay. So anyway, after I started working, I was making more money than my father ever had in his life. That's when I moved the family out of the tenements for the very first time. I was 18 years old. We got a rental house. I filled it with furniture, cheap furniture, of course. We had an indoor bathroom, indoor plumbing, indoor heating. Wow! After that, I rented a bigger house for the family. Things started to get better. Got a television set. My father asked me if I would get him a nice table radio because he loved listening to the radio programs in Spanish. I did that. And eventually I bought him a house. That's my world. That's my mundo. Not only do I look different from most people, I am different in terms of how I grew up, my culture, traditions in which I was raised, respect for elders, respect for parents, religion, Catholic religion, brought by the Spaniards over to Mexico as well. I think of myself as a Mexican American. There's a lot of controversy with that these days. People are bothered that some of us